Hi everyone, and welcome to week 5. This week will be devoted to creating our Essay 1 outlines. So now we're going to take the information that we created last week, the media literacy checklists, and our Essay 1 thesis statement, which by now myself and your classmates should have commented on, so you have a good strong start. And now you're going to use that information to create a sample outline. I am giving you this sample outline that I'm showing you. It's going to be under the Assignments tab on Blackboard. I'll put it up towards the end of week 4 so people don't get confused. The sample outline, as it says here, it's one way to organize this essay. It's not the only way. So when you organize an essay, there's always multiple ways that you could organize depending on the kind of information you're trying to get across to your reader. You have to figure out a way to organize the information in a way that makes logical sense, that someone else could read and follow. So if you don't like this organizational pattern and you want to try something different, you can email me or you can even turn in your outline written in a different way. I'm going to check everyone's outlines before you write Essay 1, so that will give me time to see if you're on the right track, and if I think there's a better way for you to organize your ideas, I'll let you know. For students who are in a rush and just need a quick way to organize your ideas, this sample outline gives you all the information that you need to organize your essay in a logical way. So I've broken it down: introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. One way that you could organize this essay. Of course, you could always have more than one body paragraph, or you could have more than one body paragraph for each website that you're talking about. You could have slightly different order of information in your introduction. There are many, many ways to organize an essay. If something makes more sense to you a different way, try it, and I'll let you know in my comments if it's not working. So for the introduction, I always say an introduction in my class lectures is like a funnel. So you want to go from the broadest idea, the biggest idea, to the most specific idea, funneling down. The beginning idea is your hook. And by now we should have the grammar presentation, Writing a Strong Hook, up on Blackboard. That will be in a folder called Grammar Presentations. It's under the Assignments tab. So the hook can be an interesting fact, a story, a quote related to the news story. It's a broad idea that's sort of related to the topic of your news story. Then you're going to introduce the news story that you're talking about so people don't get confused. Give the title, the author, the date published, a brief summary of what's going on in the news story. And when I say brief, I mean brief, 2 to 3 sentences, max. And remember that for the outline, you don't have to write all of this out. You just have to tell me, I'm going to provide a brief summary here. Your thesis, you already started creating, but you could revise it if it's not answering the questions that are being asked here on the sample outline. The questions are to help you write your thesis. You don't necessarily have to answer these questions in the way that I'm asking them, as long as you give us the information that we need to understand your main argument. Body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2 follow the same organizational pattern. The good news is that body paragraphs are really just where you prove the argument that you've made in your thesis. So they almost always look very similar. You'll have a topic sentence telling me what's the topic of this paragraph, right? Since you have 2 websites, it makes sense to have 2 body paragraphs, just one for each website. How does the news story appear on the site? Is it a main story or off to the side? That's more information you can give about the story. What do we know about the site sharing the information? And that's where you use information from your media checklist. Why do you think your chosen news story is being reported on this site? That's the most important question. And I will also put up a sample Essay 1 for you to look at so you can see what that looks like, what another student did. But the most important part of this essay, right, is that you're proving the argument of your thesis, which is saying that this news story is being reported similarly or differently for a reason. Body paragraph 2 follows the same order as body paragraph 1. Conclusions almost always work the opposite of introductions. So you've introduced the idea in the introduction by going from the biggest idea to the smallest idea, the most specific idea. A conclusion works the opposite way. You want to go from the most specific idea, so restating your thesis in different words, to the broad idea, bring it out to the people, right? So the conclusion is the place in your essay where you tell us why we should care, why anyone should care about the topic of your essay. So I've put a question to help you think about that, right? Why is it important that people reading your news story look at the way the story is being reported on multiple sites? Why should we read the same story on multiple sites? What do we know about media bias that might help us answer that question? So that is the sample Essay 1 outline. This week you'll be working on your outline. Again, you don't have to put every piece of information that I've put on this outline in the order that I've put it. This is one way to organize. You don't have to write multiple sentences per each topic. You just have to give me enough information that I understand what's going on, right? So again, for something like number 4, why do you think the news story is being reported this way on this site? You can give me a brief summary and then you'll expand on that information in your actual essay. So your outline is not an essay. I don't want you to write an essay. I want you to write an outline that looks like the outline on this page. If you write an outline that looks anything like this outline that I've given you, it's organized, you're not writing entire paragraphs, you're giving me the information you're going to say in the order that you're going to say it. If you do that, I will give you 100% on this assignment. But please do not give me a rough draft as an outline. If you do that, I will give you a 0 on this assignment. So keep in mind, an outline is not an essay. If you have any questions about that, you can post on the help. I have a question forum on the discussion board, or you can email me if you're really confused. That's it for the sample outline, and I will see you all when I make my video for week 6. I hope everybody's staying healthy and hopefully isolating.